Good morning, everyone. How's everyone? How you doing? Are you doing all right? I hope you do. It's Friday today. I hope you're all doing fine. You're all well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're doing well. Exciting news, right? Okay. Let's do a market update today. I hope you're all doing well. So let's have a look at a few things. Let's go first at the Bitcoin, and also let's have a look on Bitcoin horizontals. Let's have a look here. Right. So this is a 12 hours. Technically, we are out of the range, which is good, right? It is good. So here it is. So we got Bitcoin above 100. Remember good morning everyone. So we have Bitcoin. We wanted to be above 102, but in general the psychological number, we wanted to make sure that it stays above 100, which it's cleared from 100. Now again, we are approaching 105. This is what we need to pay attention here. We need to pay attention to 105. Okay? This is the area again that we keep on finding resistance lately. Okay? So it's insisting. Okay? It's been insisting that it wants to go through. It looks like it. Okay? It's uptrend is pushing up, so all the support is pushing up, and we have one common resistance area, which is a red line. Okay? So it's giving us the idea that, it wants to go through. And by the looks of it, this is what's going to happen. It's going to go through. So, for the next few hours, we're going to, pay attention to this area. Okay, this is a smaller time frame, 90 minutes. I'll always start with the 12 hours, and then I'm going to watch it down to 19, and then, if I'm ready for trade, I can even go lower. But this is the area that we need to pay attention. We need to make sure that Bitcoin comes above, find support, flip, right, to give us an idea that it's going to stay above, give us some accumulation, and then if it continues, this is the time for us to go in, right? And this is what I'm looking at as time-wise. Okay, this is not a perfect entry. The perfect entry is trying to get as low as possible to these areas. So that was a perfect entry, as low as possible, targeting the liquidity. Okay, but time-wise, as we speak right now, the price is here. So what's the next step? Okay, the next step is we need to be careful with 105.8. We would like to see Bitcoin, claiming the level and be above. Now, if it fails for the next few hours, okay, like daily, as today it's going to fail, then that's going to come back to these levels, right? And we want to stay above the range, which is 102. If it comes down to grab liquidity, we just want to make sure that it stays above 100. It may do a dive, right? And then it's going to come back very quickly, recover very quickly after the liquidity grab. But you don't need to be panicking. It's Friday. Weekends usually we see pushes. It's pushing to the up. We see a push. They may push it, further up and then come back on Sunday night. We will see if it goes. You need to understand, what is the liquidity? You have liquidity down here. You have liquidity down here. You have liquidity down here. Okay. On the other side, you have liquidity down here. You have liquidity here, and you have liquidity up here. So this is the two scenarios. If it goes above, that it's going to clear that level, and when it's going to come back, you expect to find support, okay, and then carry on. If not, okay, if it's going to bounce and fake out and then come back, then that's going to grab this liquidity. So it's always from liquidity to liquidity. As long as you identify liquidity, you're going to know your plan A and plan B. Always you're going to have like scenario. If Bitcoin's going to do one thing, then I'm going to do this. If Bitcoin's going to do another thing, then I'm going to do the other. Okay, that's how you plan it. Good morning, Cal. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my friend. So this is Bitcoin. Okay, so let's have a look a little bit on the Bitcoin on the diagonals. Okay, for people that they love trend lines, this is a setup that I have here. Okay, this is a setup I have. So let me bring my YouTube chat here so I can see you all instead of being far on the other side of the screen. So here we are. Cool. So for people that they love diagonals, this is a diagonal setup. Okay, we've seen now lately, this is a 6 hour time frame, we've seen lately that we flipped this resistance into support, which is a very good sign. Now what we want, what Bitcoin is fighting to claim above the white line and then target the red. Why? There's liquidity here and there's liquidity above the red. So we would like to see that it's going to come and stay above the red. Remember, the red one is a significant level. May go in a straight one move, less likely. It's, red lines are always difficult to go through. There are some occasions that, it does go through. But every level you need to treat it as resistance, right? It's going to come up here, there's a liquidity there, and now you're going to get rejected. Okay, it's a rejection point. The white line is a rejection point, the green line is another rejection point. So whatever the direction, every line you are approaching is a rejection point. Okay, so either it's going to be support on the way down or either it's going to be resistance on the way up. Either way, you're going to mark your levels, right? And what are the targets? Why is targeting this? Because there's liquidity up there. Why up here? There's more liquidity up there. So it will make sense that it's going to come up here, grab this liquidity, clear this liquidity, and then it may come back. If it's strong enough, the bulls are going to hold it, the whales are going to hold it, and then we're going to stay above the red line. And that will be the time that you're going to see a flip, right? It failed to flip it here, it failed to flip it here. Maybe the third time or the fourth time will be the time to flip it. Okay, so is it going to be the third time? We don't know. Maybe we get a rejection on the third time and then it's going to push one more time, or the fourth time maybe it's going to go through. Will it go through the third time? It may. Okay, there's no certainty here. We don't know what's going to do. We don't predict the market. We have the levels and we go level by level and we understand why. Okay, there's liquidity here, liquidity there, liquidity over there. So this is why. We know why. Okay, so now we're seeing Bitcoin on both setups, on diagonals and horizontals. Okay, right. Okay, let's have a look. You're more than welcome to post down in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat, so you're more than welcome. Bring your comments up, right? You're more than welcome to do so. Please do. Okay, you can do whatever you like. I mean, write a message and say hi, or write a message if you wish to have us have a look on a token, right? So don't be scared to do so, right? We good friends here. We have a good time. We're going to have good fun, and we have a little music there, and it's going to be absolutely smashing. Okay, right. Okay, let's have a look. All right, so you want your music a bit lower. Okay, no worries. I hear you. I have my music. I always go with my music. Right, so here it is. So a bit lower for you. And I put my voice a little bit higher. So that should be more clear to you. Right, okay. Okay, good. All right, okay, cool. Right, what next? How to accept the gangster fib? Okay, gangster fib. Hi, Laurie. Good morning. Gangster fib is quite easy. I'm going to show it to you because you came up with that question before. So here's let's draw a Fibonacci. Okay, that's your Fibonacci. in the original way, you're going to see it being something like this. It's going to be something like that, right? It's a fib tool, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to change a little bit the settings. I'm going to do this very quickly. Double click, go into the style, and here you have your settings, okay? So what I usually do, I change the numbers inside the settings. I have the numbers printed on the Google Sheet. So if you go to the Discord, I have the Google Sheet there. And then, we can share the numbers there. Okay. I can demonstrate even here. I mean, let me bring the Google Sheet here. So let's have a look. So here's the Google Sheet. If you go to the third tab, you're going to have all the settings for the Gangster Fib, right? Here are all the numbers. These ones here are the templates. So I have a template, okay, Gangster Fib number 2. It has only these 3 values, 0, 50, 100, okay? If you use the template number 4, it's 175, 50, 25, and 0, okay? If you're using the 8 template, you've got all these 8 numbers, okay? And then you have the extensions. Here on the right, you have all the numbers as they are. So these numbers have been ticked and been filled up all the way to the extension 3 template, okay? So I've got lots of templates. So speaking of which, I remove the trend line. So it removes that diagonal trend line of the Gangster Fib. I keep the lines as they are. Remove the background, okay? You can remove, if you wish, you can remove the levels. I only need prices, okay? You can have your labels to be on the bottom of the line, or if you wish, in the middle, closer to the line, so people understand what it is. And then you can ask the labels to be on the right, on the side. These settings is up to you, okay? It's up to you, and the fonts, the size, how big the numbers you want to be is up to you, okay? Now, one thing for me, very easy to clear all these different colors, okay, to have one unique color. What I do, I close the settings, click once, and then you have this little pen. I'm going to bring that up to the screen. So you have this little pen here, and see it has a little rainbow. Why? Because it detects that it has multiple colors. So press that pen and say that I want gray, okay? And then automatically all of them, all the lines are becoming gray, okay? So going back to the settings, and then you can change the ones that we need, like 0, I want to be green. So I need to know where I start and where I finish. And that is going to be the green, okay? And every 0.5, every 50%, it's going to be always red. And this is how you start, you change the numbers, copy the numbers that you have for the spreadsheet, and you're going to have, the settings for you. Now, each column that you got from the Google Sheet is your template. So for this instance, let's say 0, 5, 1, then I'm going to disable the other ones, okay? All I want to have 2 zones, okay? So here you have, top is a green, middle is the red, and then the bottom is green. So you can save that as a template, okay? Save drawing as a template. I have one, Gangster Fib 2, Gangster Fib 4, Gangster Fib 8, extensions. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 templates. If I go to 2, this is what I have. If I go to number 8, this is what I have. And when I go to extensions, this is what I have, okay? And this is how you're going to use the Gangster Fib. I hope that was making sense to how to set it up, okay? Now, afterwards, if your question is how you're going to, use it on the chart, then let's, go to one token like virtual. I'm going to delete this, okay? And let's speak a little bit of virtual. So what I'm going to do on virtual, I'm going to go in a higher time frame, and I would like to see a nice impulse, okay? I need to see the very bottom to the very top, and this is a correction. So I would like to take the impulse, right? Because I have a decent correction. So what I usually do, I grab my Gangster Fib, I'm trying to find the lowest point, okay, and then trying to get it to the highest. So I use a control button to make sure that I lock myself, my starting point and my ending point to the wicks, okay? When I'm happy, I'm going to change this template to normal. So I'm going to use the 8. Okay, because this is the bottom, this is the highest, there's no price action above, so I don't need extensions right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to coordinates, and I'm going to extend a little bit the lines, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Okay, here it is. Okay, I can go to 2 months to make sure that 232 is the lowest, and I assume it is. Okay, 272, 199. I think the 199 is the lowest. So here it is. I picked the lowest wick. Okay, I'm sure I am on the highest. Here it is. And now I can lock it. Make sure that it stays in place. Okay, and it doesn't shift with my mouse accidentally. Once I've done this, okay, and I've broken the levels I'm interested, then I go down to the 12 hours to a time frame that I'm interested. And I'm trying to observe, what the price action is doing with these lines. Okay, and remember, the red line is a significant line, so this is exactly where the virtual is at 2.57. So I'm going to extend a little bit the lines, right, just to give it a bit more room for me to do my TAs. So here it is. Okay, so what do you have? You have a descending triangle. Okay, so here it is. You have a descending triangle. Okay, and you have a strong support. Okay, you have a small deviation and try to grab liquidity. Okay, it goes higher, you have a first higher low, and then maybe you have your second higher low. So speaking of which, if you're having a second higher low, which is a good sign. Okay, so this is your low after this big correction, so that's your low, first higher low, and this possibly is going to be your second higher low. When you're going to classify this as a second higher low? Only when and if you're going to break the previous high. Okay, until now you can observe it. You don't know, it might be a second high low. Okay, so far I don't see, it's not confirmed, so to say. Okay, it is not confirmed. Let me have a look. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. What else? I mean, virtual. I mean, you need to be careful with virtual. Okay. And this is a good buy. And you need to be careful with these levels. Okay, why? Because you have liquidity below and you have liquidity below. So if you're going to have an entry, make sure that your position, or let's say your leverage, is very low for you to have a threshold. If it's going to dive lower to grab liquidity, you can survive this, and then after that, when you get the breakout and reclaim this level, you can add more and you can increase a little bit your leverage later. Okay, as long as that is claiming levels and it goes higher and higher, then you can increase the level and the leverage as well. And you can see that, it's going to target the previous highs. It's a little liquidity area. And then you can do a small stop there. And maybe not going to take all the profits, but, take some profits. And if the price is coming down, then you can close the token. Or are you going to wait until it's going to claim to put back all the profits that you took out? You're going to put it back. It's like taking out partial profits to secure your profits, all that up move. You're going to secure it, and then you're going to release it back to increase your position size, which means you're compounding, which means you're going to put your profits into work to create more money. Okay, this is how we trade. We start easy with low leverage. We give a lot of room to grab liquidity. Okay, if it goes very low here and trying to spike up a quick recovery, I will DCA as well on the way up. And then when I get a clear sign that we have found a support, then I can add more. Then it goes up and clears previous levels, then I can increase the leverage. Okay, and as high it goes, I'll increase the leverage step by step. Okay, I don't rush, I go step by step. You can start with these position. You can start this with 1x. Okay, 1x is giving you plenty of room for you to DCA and plenty of room to recover. So you can start with 1x. If it goes higher straight away, good enough. Do a 2x here. When it goes higher, you can do a 3x here. If it goes higher, you can do a 4x here, right? If it goes higher than that, then you can do 5x, right? Because it's going to break the previous all-time high. So you can, increase the leverage step by step. And every time you increase your leverage, it's going to throw you back into the wallet, okay? Some cash. Use that to put it back, okay? Because the exchanges will allow you to change the leverage, but they will not allow you to change the position, okay? So they're going to change the margin. They're going to readjust the margin for you to maintain the same position. So let's say if you entered with $100 on 1x, when you're going to shift to 2x, immediately $50 is going to get out, okay? It's going to put it back to your wallet. Why? Because 50 times 2 equals 100. So the position size, the trading size is going to be always maintained the same, okay? So in order to increase, it's going to throw your money back to the wallet. And you going to say, thank you very much, but I'm going to put this 50 back. So you're going to increase the position size, okay? Manually. So from 1x to 2x, it's going to keep your trending size to 100. You're going to put that 50 back, so your trending size is going to be 150, okay? On the 3x, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to maintain the 150 trading size, so all the remaining is going to go back to your wallet. You're going to throw it back. So first step, you change the leverage. Second step, you throw the money back. Make sure that you're compounding until you reach your daily target, okay? Remember this, you're going to stop compounding until you can reach your daily target. We can speak the targets, which is very important inside the Discord. So here we're going to do the market updates. In the Discord, we're going to do more trading, okay? Just wondering how you got these levels on Bitcoin according to my gangster fib. On 1D, the values are different. Okay, no worries. I'll show you. Because you did on the daily, I did something else. Let me give you the idea here. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit and let me go to the weekly. This is how far I went. So here's a weekly time frame, and what have I done? Okay, what I've done here is I marked the beginning of the gangster fib on the previous top of the cycle. Okay, and then I also took the bottom. So I marked the bear market. Okay, so I took the previous high with the latest low, and this is how I broke down my levels. Okay, so my lowest price is 15,473. That was the lowest of the bear market. Okay, and the top was 68,997, where was the top of the previous cycle. Okay, I broke them down and then I just enabled the extensions, and I'm still within the extension range. Okay, now going closer. Okay, going closer, just to remove a little bit the noise for you. Okay, let me remove the range because the range is on a different kind of aspect. So I'm gonna lock it and also I'm gonna hide it. Okay, so I'm gonna hide it. Here it is, it's gone. Okay, ignore these lines. Okay, you can ignore that line as well if you wish. Here it is. I'm going to close that, close that, close that. Off you go. Here we are. So these are the zones, and what I've done lately, okay, this is the point of area I'm interested. This is where the price action is sitting right now. So what I've done, I broke down the zone between 102 and 109 with another fib inside. Okay, and going to a smaller time frame, this is what you have. Okay, if you follow what I've just demonstrated here, you should be good to go. Okay, you should have exactly what, you should see what exactly I see. Okay, and you're more than welcome. Okay, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. Right, okay, let's have a look. Any messages? I'm looking at the messages. All good. All good. All right, okay. I'm carry on. Here we are. Someone is. Okay, I can hear it a little. You can hear it as well. This is the speech of Trump. It's quite interesting. I mean, we should. Instead, before I go to the bubbles, we could a little bit have a look. What happened with what was the latest note of Trump had a good announcement. So let me bring this up. It's quite interesting. So let me do that full screen and at the beginning, if you don't mind. You've probably seen it, but let me bring this here so you can see that. Right. Okay. Here it is.
And to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nationwide.
He's going to do a lot of changes.
Restrictions,
He's after a lot of
regulations,
changes.
and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world. Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof.
And also, he claimed, I mean, you know, what interests us. He claimed that he wants to make America the capital of the cryptocurrency. Of crypto. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I've got that one on the Twitter. So if you want to, you know, see it more, go to my Twitter. You're gonna see it. It's there on my, you know, I posted it up. So yeah, that's very interesting to see. You know how you know he's gonna do this. If he's gonna do all of this, you know, it's gonna be very, very bullish for the markets until we get a crash. Yeah, I mean, we expect a crash, don't we? We expect a crash, maybe late, you know, maybe late in 26, to not because of the president. It is because of they need to reset all the financial system. Okay, they're gonna introduce the blockchain for good into the financial system. Right. Okay. So this is Bitcoin. Now you know how to do the gangster flip. You know the settings, and also you've seen how I've done with Bitcoin. And also I use the Bitcoin index chart as well. Okay, be careful about that one. I don't use Bitcoin from another exchanges. I'm using the index. The index is the one that is being fed to the exchanges. Okay, it's the price before it goes to the exchanges. I use a high time frame candles, not swing high low. There is. Okay. Now you can do both ways. Okay. And the way that you can apply the gangster thief is either you're going to use it on an impulse, like a swing high, swing low, a decent swing high, swing low. Sometimes the price action, the token that you charting, maybe is going to give you a better understanding. Maybe there's not enough data, there's not big impulses. And if the data is small, then it will make more sense for you to go maybe to the monthly and take the highest, you know, monthly candle. Another approach, let me bring another approach. Okay, let's create a new layout. Just to demonstrate something else as well, because a lot of people are saying, you know, how can I use these, you know, on the daily? Well, depends the style of your trade, okay? But this is Bitcoin again, okay? Let me go to the daily, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the previous day, okay? Only the previous day, okay? This is one way of doing it. Here it is. This is your previous day, okay? So today is Friday. You ignore today's candle because this is in progress. So you mark the top and the bottom of the previous day, okay? Expand a little bit to the left and right, okay? A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, Here we are. We've got both sides. I need to make the numbers a bit smaller. They don't need to be so big. Okay. I'm gonna lock it. Make sure it stays there. Okay. And now I can go to a smaller time frame. I can go all the way down to 45 minutes. And this is what you have. Okay. You just broke the previous day. Okay. So the previous day, it's going to give you an understanding to see what's happening. And also you can mark the opening if you want to see where exactly your day started, which is my 2 o'clock, always my 2 o'clock. It's the 0 UTC. Okay, so that is my opening. And the reason this is my Friday open, I just need to be careful, pay attention to it and see, what the price is doing. So after the opening, after midnight, okay, what the market did, it got pushed down to take out liquidity. And after that, it turned around, it went above the opening, above the previous highs, and now it's going to target the previous day high. And you see, it's above the 50% as well, which is the red line. So far, Bitcoin is looking bullish, and you go level by level. And you know that you're going to have some struggle at 106 because there's a low liquidity here. There's a liquidity high as well. Okay, 106.88. But 106.18, there's still liquidity. So maybe it's going to find some resistance here, and then maybe it's going to come down. And then you're going to wait and expect that it's going to stay above the 50% of the previous day and stay above the opening. Okay, and then maybe it's going to push later. And this is how you break your previous day. So you see, the gangster flip is not only one way of doing it. It depends on what kind of trader you are. Okay, and then you can apply it. If you are a day trader, obviously you're going to break the previous day, and also you're going to break down the previous week as well. So let me demonstrate that as well. So you go to the weekly. Okay, this is the current week. You ignore the current week, you go to the previous week and say, hey, this is, you can do 3 lines. Okay, you're going to use the gangster fib with the 3 lines. Okay, and you use a template number 2. Okay, 2 zones, 3 lines, 2 zones. I'm going to extend that to the right. Okay, extend that to the right. That's about okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the big numbers. So the big numbers are the weekly. The small numbers are the daily. Okay, so I'm going to lock that, make sure it doesn't move. And what do you have? You have the high, you have the 50%, you have the low. And if you wish, you can have the opening. Okay, and just give it another color. I don't know, maybe you want to give it a green. It doesn't matter what that is. Okay, just give it a name and put a name there and say, this is my weekly open. Okay, weekly open. All right, if I can spell it right. Here we are, weekly open. Okay, and you go back to the daily or 12 hours, whatever you like. And now you can see that Bitcoin is approaching, you see, the small numbers are the daily, the big numbers are the weekly. So now, even go to this 45 minutes, it doesn't matter. Now you know that you are approaching the weekly high, the previous week high, and the daily high, the previous day high. So this is going to be a significant level. That's why this reaction, this price hit the previous week high and it got pushed down. Okay, that was Thursday. Right, today is Friday. So yesterday it hit the previous week high and it got pushed down. And now it's pushing one more time up. Okay, so most likely it's going to break the previous week high and then, exceed and pass above the daily high, the previous day high. Okay, so if you take this concept, you break these levels and you go level by level, then you understand what are you doing, and it will make more sense. Now, if you want to follow it and make sure that you stay in track and you don't have these lines to confuse you, have your trend line. Okay, you like trend lines? This is your trend line. Do you want to have an updated trend line? You can have an updated trend line. And then you can, pay attention and see what's going on if you like trend lines. Okay? how to effectively identify zones of liquidity grabs. Okay, the zones, you're going to see them. Okay, you're going to see these when you have swing highs, swing lows. And again, that is down to your which time frame. I like to start with a daily or 12 hours. 12 hours is good enough, and then I identify the swing highs, swing lows. So I know that I have loads of liquidity here, loads of liquidity here, and loads of liquidity here. Okay, and I have some liquidity here. So it's a zigzag. So when you get a price going up and then price came down, price going up, price going down, what do you have here? Mass of orders that were strong enough to stop the uptrend and change the direction to the down. So you have loads of money sitting here. And what do you have above the entries? You have stop losses. And what do you have above the stop losses? Liquidations for the brave ones that did not use any stop losses. So all these three together, they form a liquidity. Okay, so if I draw a line here, you can see that the price action, it goes after that liquidity and then comes down. If you don't, a lot of people see this. It goes up, comes down, and then goes up. Okay, but if you break this analysis a little bit and say, hey, what do I have here? Liquidity. And then you can understand the price action went for that liquidity. And this is how the price action is being, programmed. It's an algo that it runs that is looking to see constantly where the liquidity is. And if there is an imbalance in between, it will go for that imbalance as well. Okay? So this is the main thing that you need to remember, that price goes from liquidity to liquidity. And if there is an imbalance in between, it's going to grab it. Okay? So do you know how to identify imbalance? It's the gap that you have between the number 1 and number 3. Okay? So if you have a gap, so let me find one. Let's find one. Okay? So here it is. That's a huge gap here. So what do you have here? You have this candle as number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. So you see there is a big gap between number 1 and number 3. It's a huge gap. Here it is. So all that blue area is in balance. And when you have price shifting up so quickly, you always need to remember, as fast as it goes up, that fast it will come down. Okay? So it comes down and it comes inside the liquidity. The first time, you can see that since it touched roughly around the 50%, you can see that the price went straight up. And you can understand that by the wick. Second time, it pushed up. So that imbalance, right, it was, let's say, affecting, influencing the price to spike up as hard as possible. Okay? But obviously, the selling orders here were more stronger than that. They took out the imbalance. Imbalance had no strength to push the price up. It did twice, once here, second time here. Okay, but the selling orders here were so big they pushed the price down. Okay, so majority of the times the rule is that when you have imbalance or fair value gap, the two different terms for me, okay, but a fair value gap technically is an imbalance. Okay, imbalance can be found anywhere. Fair value gaps are to be found exactly above an order block. Okay, so I have an order block here. For this instance, I have an order block here, but the imbalance happened way away from the order block. So to me, this is imbalance. On this example here on the right, I have an order block, which is here, and I have a fair value gap exactly on the top of the order block. So when I have imbalance right on the top of an order block, I call them fair value gaps. If I have a gap that is not necessarily attached to an order block, then I just call them imbalances. Okay? Imbalance is not a fair value gap, but a fair value gap can be imbalance. Okay, it is an imbalance, but imbalance doesn't mean necessarily that's going to be a fair value gap. So I distinguish these two. Okay, right. All right. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, on the bigger tokens, if you have enough data like swing highs, swing lows, maybe that will work for you better. If you don't have swings, you don't have a clean chart, clean movements, then what you can do, you can use like weekly candles, monthly candles, 3-month candles, 6-month candles, and this is how you mark the 6-month high or the quarter high or the weekly high and the daily high. You can do this, okay? But I like to keep my charts nice and clean, and what I prefer to do, okay, let me clear this chart. What I prefer to do is go to a higher time frame, okay? I prefer to go to a higher time frame, like weekly. I'm not afraid to go that back, right? And I say, hey, I want to break this down, and I need to see the future levels. So what's the story behind the gangster fib? Okay, the gangster fib, I call it gangster fib because it originally comes from the GAN box. Okay, but the GAN box was a limited number of lines. I wanted more, so I couldn't use a GAN box anymore. And what's the story behind it? And I'm trying to explain this as simple as possible. We want to realign ourselves, our TA, with the frequency of the algorithm that runs the chart. 85% of these markets have been run by algos, okay? So in order for we don't know the context of the algo, so it's very hard for you to try to break down the algo, okay? Because if someone was very good with programming and understood what algo runs in Bitcoin, then you can find the perfect bot to trade Bitcoin because he can predict what Bitcoin's going to do because he cracked the algo. But this is not the case, okay? As far as I know, no one has done this. So no one knows on which algo the Bitcoin it runs. So I said, okay, but it created waves, okay? It goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up. So I said, okay, that, because I have a technical background, anything to do with audio and frequencies and stuff like that. So I said, okay, it sounds like a sound wave. It looks like a wave, like a sound wave. So what if I treat it as a sound wave? So I said, okay, I need to find a frequency. So I said, okay, this is the bottom of the cycle and this is the top of the cycle, and then it comes down. All right, you can take the previous example as well. And you have like a frequency, this is the bottom of the cycle, this is the top of the cycle, and then it comes down, and this is the bottom of the cycle, and then it goes to the top, and this is the top of the cycle, right? And you have a frequency, okay? So from bottom to the next bottom, you have a full cycle, okay? And I said, what if I can break half of the cycle? The bottom to the top is half of the cycle, so that is a half of the cycle. I said, what if I can break this half of the cycle into equal levels? And this is what I've done. The gangster fib that I'm using, technically, it's a 25%. So what do I mean by 25%? So what I've done, let me do you here with the straight lines. So this is, let's pretend this is the top, okay? This is the top, and this is the bottom, okay? Here's the bottom. So now I marked the half of the cycle, right? The top of the cycle and bottom of the cycle. And I said, okay, I need to break the 50%. So where is the 50%? Where is the half of it? So roughly, that middle line here is my 50%. So I'm going to mark the 50%. Okay, so I'm going to mark it here, somewhere here, exactly where the arrow is. Boom. So that is my 50% now. Okay. And I said, okay, that's 50%, the first half. So that's 50%, and that is 50%. I said, what if I can break this into quarters? And I do again half of this distance. So I said, okay, let me do this, let me do this, and then I'll break my frequency into quarters, okay, to equal levels. So I'm going to do this here, okay, and then I'm going to break again the top 50% to 2 quarters. So here it is, 2 quarters, and I'm going to use that line over there. Boom. Okay. So what I've done, I've got quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I said, okay, it takes a lot of time for me to do the lines like this. It looks like I'm very, amateur, not even amateur. So I said, must be a better way of doing this. And this is why I was looking into the boxes. I didn't want to use the Fib back then because I had my Fibonacci levels and I don't want to ruin it and don't have so many templates. And then, I said, okay, what other tools I can use? I said, yeah, Gantt box is part of the Fibonacci family. So I can use a Gantt box and make the numbers that I want, and I'm not going to mess around with my Fibonacci tool. So I came up with this. But then later, here it is. I did that very quickly with one move. All I have now, all the levels are marked out, quarters. But when the price action was going out of that Gantt box, I was like, okay, what now? I need to see what's going to happen now. I said, okay, if I crack down the frequency of how the cycles have been moved within Bitcoin, then I can keep the same frequency and regenerate the levels. So I said, okay, I'll clone it. Exactly the same frequency. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But then again, that looks like an amateur trying to clone a Gantt box to the top of the Gantt box. I said, I need to find a tool that has more lines. I need to find this. And then I said, okay, what if I'm going to the Gangster Fib, and eventually I'm going to do more lines. It's okay. I'm going to do more templates. I'm not going to be the first person to have lots of templates on the Fibonacci. So here it is. I went to Fibonacci. I said, okay, I want all extensions. So I've got all the lines. It's exactly the same thing. But what I've done extra, just to help people, is I broke down the quarters into 8s. So each line, each zone, it's not 25, it's 12.5. Okay? And that will help to break down to smaller time frame for me to have a smaller targets and monitor the levels. That's all it is. And then I use the Gangster Fib. Okay? I call it Gangster because it's not a true Fib. Okay? It's a Fib tool, but not with the Fibonacci sequence. So it's a gangster, right? And the gangster came because it's very close to the Gantt box. So I say, I need to find a name that is very close to the Gantt. It's a Fibonacci, but it's not a Fibonacci, so we need to give a name. So I said, okay, gangster, right? So I call it the Gangster Fib, okay? And that's what it is. Now, maintaining the same frequency, I almost found that no matter what time frame I'm using, no matter what chart I'm using, once I identify the frequency, then I crack down the algo. And then I go level by level. And that's how it works. That's how it is. Right? And you can see that it finds support and resistance on these levels. Okay? Resistance here, support, resistance, some deviations. But you get the idea. No matter what time frame you're going to use, these price action is going to be respecting, the price levels. And if that was making sense to me, then I know two big things that majority of the people that don't know. I know my entries and I know my exits, because majority of the people, they know the entries, but they don't know the exits. They don't know where to get out, or they don't know where is the invalidation point. Where should I get out if things go wrong? Or where should I get out when things going well? And the Gangster Fib is giving me all these future prices and say, hey, pay attention 102, pay attention 109, pay attention 115. Now the frequency, this is the magic here for you to understand. The frequency I marked, it was a previous cycle. That top over there, right? That top over there with that bottom over here. And now in the future, I can see that levels, price action is respecting these levels. Right? And I'm like, okay, I'm good with this. I'm good. I'm happy. Look at that. Even on the weekly, What do you see here? Big rejection point. It never claimed this level. It never stayed above. Another rejection point, another rejection point, another rejection point, and a flip. Right? So I said, okay, that works for me. I'm good. Okay? I'm very, very good. So this is how I came up with this idea and this strategy. And I said, okay, I have an advantage. It looks very basic, very simple. People do not believe it. I don't mind if they don't believe it. I believe it. But it's very simple, right? And people, let's say, look down on it and say, oh, come on, it can't be that simple. It's not true. It's not this, it's not that. It is true. Okay? The simpler you keep it, the more clean the charts are. And you need to pay, I don't care what people say. If it's simple, not technical, blah, 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 it can't be right. It's okay. They can say whatever they want. Okay? I cannot answer all these people's questions and, try to convince them. No. What I'm doing, I'm trying to say, hey, I have an advantage here that other people don't. Other people trying to guess where to get out. Okay? I said, okay, I have my lines and I have my levels and I know. It's exactly the same thing when back in time I was using in the crypto school. For people that they remember me from the crypto school when I was doing the lessons there, because I stopped doing the crypto school lessons I was doing in the web room. But people who remember me from the crypto school, they knew that I still have, this is my gangster fib, and I had extensions, okay, Back to the Future and stuff like that, and they can see that I had extensions of the golden zones. 618, which is the round number 62, okay? Instead of doing 61.8, I was doing round number 62. So here I have 62, 162, 262, 362. That was the golden future zones, right? It was the golden zones in the future. And I said, guys, if you find a frequency and if you pay attention to the golden zones and you like to play with the golden zones as your strategy, then you should know where the future golden zones are going to be. And I'll start using that. And now everybody start using that. And I had in both directions. 100, minus 162, minus 262, minus 362. And I used to do that all the time. Okay? And then I stopped eventually doing the golden zones, and then I came up with my strategy. So, I play around, I'm a visual guy, and, I see things differently. It may sound very basic because that was my target. I said, I need to find something that is very easy to do and very quick. I don't want to spend hours on one chart trying to do the TA. I want to get in straight away, boom, do the TA, get my levels, and then I need to pay attention. And that's it. And also I need where my entries are, where my invalidation points are, and where are my TPs are going to be. That's simple. And I need to do it quickly, very fast. There are lots of people out there, they're trying to do TA within they spend half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes for one chart. I said, no need to do that. All I need, I'm not going to say seconds, but all I need is 1 or 2 minutes and I'm done. And if it's, if I like it, if it's good, I keep it. If I don't like it, then I move along. I find another token that, is ready. Let me see here the comments. Where can you find the gangster fib in the trading view? You can't find on the trading view. You have to set it up on your own, right? If you go to my channel, I have a video. It's called Introduction to Gangster Fib. Go watch it, and it's only one video specifically on this subject, and you're going to be fine. All right, and like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, click the links, find the Discords, come and find me. Okay, and we're more than happy to explain to you. Right, okay, let's carry on with the market update very quickly. Please pay attention to AI agents. Use the butter bubbles. Here we are. Here are the butter bubbles. This is the AI agents. Okay, look at that. We've got a few green and a few red. But look at that. Serve 37%. Grief, have a look at this. Don't ignore grief. It's gonna be a good one. What else? Virtual also Fed. Okay, and then you can shift from AI agents and trying to have a look only on the AI. So click on the AI and you see the rest of them. Okay, if you click the list option, you can see based on the market cap which one's the number one. NIA. Okay, NIA, ICP, Render, Fed, Tau, Virtual, Graph, Arweave. Okay, AI 16Z. Okay, Akash, Griffin, Grash. You got it. Okay, use the bundle bubbles and use the narratives, whatever you like. Would you like to see Solana? Here you have Solana. Okay, you got Solana official. I mean, let me remove the stable coins. I don't need the stable coins, thank you very much. So here we are, no stable coins. So you got Solana, and under Solana you got the official Trump. Wow, look at that. After that, Jupiter, Render, Bonk, Ray. Okay, dog with a hat, Filecoin. No, who's going to believe that? 1.3 billion on the Filecoin. SPX, Pyth. Okay, all of these. Giga. Pay attention to them. Popcat. Okay, they're here. Okay, they're good. I mean, Popcat is half a billion, right? Popcat. Strong tokens. Now it's going to take more. It needs more market cap to move to get them moving, but they are strong, right? They're not going to die in one day. You never know when they're going to die, but it's not going to be a rug pull, that lasted so long. Anyway, meme coins. All right, be careful with the meme coins. RWA, Link, Ondo. This is good ones, solid ones, right? RWA, Link, Ondo, Mandra. Okay, XDC, Quant, Maker, Pendle. Okay, Polymesh, Ravencoin. It's been a long time I haven't seen Ravencoin. Yeah, stuff like that. I used to have a node working for Ravencoin. Yeah, use the button bubbles for you to see stuff like that. Okay, if you like the bubbles, fine. If you want to see the charts, it's even better. The list. Okay. What else would you like to speak about? I don't know, what tokens would you like to have a look at before I go away? I promise that these streams are going to be only 1 hour long, so I'm almost 1 hour long. So give me tokens and let's have a look. That's a good question, Master. Where do you put your stop loss? Your stop loss is going to be under that support, right? Lose that level, it means it's no longer support. So I put my stop loss is below these levels. Okay, ADA. All right, ADA is part of the ISO. Okay, it's been a little bit forgotten, but I don't think I have an ADA. No, I don't. Let's have a look. Let's create a new layout for ADA. Why not? That's a new layout. No markings, nothing here. I'm going to delete the volume. I don't use the volume. I use the delta volume. Don't be mad with me. I'm not using the volume. Nothing wrong with the volume. So this is ADA. No, it's not. Hold on a minute. ADA, USD. Binance Coinbase. I prefer Coinbase. Thank you. Let me go to a higher time frame. Have a look. Now ADA is part of the ISO 20022. Okay, and then we're going to have a look on Hypensis. Okay, no problem. So which way are you going to do it? Either way, I mean, would you like to mark down the previous cycle from the very top to the very bottom? You can. Okay, but the zones are going to be too big. Okay, you can break them down, that's not a problem. Can you do the last impulse? Of course you can. Okay, you take the last low, well, that's the lowest point here of the last impulse, so that's the lowest and that's the highest, and I'm not using the Fibonacci. Let me break them down to the gangster fib. So here we are, extend it to the right a little bit to make sure that it's here. Here we are. Okay, cool. I'm going to lock it, go down to a smaller time frame, 12 hours, and let's have a look what is going on. Okay. Break the levels down. Here it is. Now, 0.93 is looking that it wants to act as a support. Okay. Now, by looking at it, I need to identify, even go back to the daily and identify liquidity. Where do I have liquidity? I've got lots of liquidity sitting down here. Okay. I've got liquidity down here. I've got another liquidity up there. So I've got liquidity up here. Okay. Now, this liquidity has been taken out from this one. So that liquidity does not exist. That and that liquidity be taken care of these levels. So I need to be careful with this level here. 119. Okay. So if that's going to hold here like this. Now, if this is going to be too big, okay, be my guest. Go down to 45 minutes, expand a little bit, right, and break this level down. This is where the price action is here. Is it above the 50 or is it below the 50 of this range? Okay, so don't be afraid. Break it down. Okay, make sure that the numbers are matching. Okay, 652, 654, almost close. And now 9339, exactly on the spot. Okay, I only miss it by 2 cents, not even cents. Okay, cool. Here we are. So the price is flirting with the 50% of that range. Okay, can you see now that I marked the last impulse and I break a level within? And can you see on the 45 minutes that these levels are helping me out to understand what's going on? Okay, do you see these levels? Do you see where the price action is respecting these levels? So what do I want to see now on ADA? This is a low, this is a high low, equal lows between them, but this is the first high low above this low. Okay, so now is this going to be the second high low? Well, we don't know yet because we need to break structure. First, we need to stay above the 0.99, almost $1. Okay, so we need to stay above here. If it goes above and start claiming levels, right, then it's good for you to buy. Okay, what I will do, I'll buy here, just an option. I'm not telling you just go buy it straight away, but what I'm saying to you, you can go here with 1x, right, and see if it's going to form, right, your second high low. Okay, if you claim this level, then you can increase your position and you can change the leverage to 2. Okay, or to 3, whatever you like. Okay, by going here 1x, it means your liquidation price is going to be too far away, so you can have a stop loss a bit further out. Okay, to make sure that you know you have space. Now, if you want to be very strict with the strategy, and let's say that it fails, you entered here, but it fails to come up and losing it, it comes down to this level, then you can close it and say, hey, let me try later when we found the bottom, right? Because losing that level when you expected to hold it as a support, by losing it, then there's no point for you to stay in. Okay, you lost it. Why? Because your target was to stay above and continue. If you're going down, then your long is not worth it. If you want to be very strict, if you are on a very low time frame, okay, and say, hey, I need to find, okay, I need to find where is the bottom. I mean, this is what you're trying to do here, okay, and say, okay, roughly this is what I see on an average, a small deviation, 1, 2, 3 touches, 4 touches. It's trying out. Here is breaking out, and a lot of people questioning if this gonna be the test, the retest of the trend line. Okay, so far I see this high comes down and fell to break the previous high. So this is not yet a confirmed breakout. Okay, that can be a fake out. So that's why I need you to wait and see the price action be above the red line. If the price is going to accumulate, you can go into smaller time frames. If the price is going to accumulate above the red line and you identify a range or a cluster, what we used to say in the war room, if you identify a range and a cluster and then the price is breaking above, you can grab your entry. And as long as you claim your levels, you're good to go until you find an area that it fails to go above, and you're like, uh-oh, what do I see here? Another range, okay, another cluster, and then it failing, coming down, and then you can close it. Say, hey, I don't see you any stronger now. You may want to correct. We'll come back later. And this is how you trade, okay? So this is ADA for you. You need to make sure that you claim and stay above $1. Okay, be careful, be patient, start easy, and then you can increase. You always add to your winnings. When you're losing, you cut them off easily, quickly. Okay. Okay, that's for ADA. What was the other one? Hype. Let's have a look on Hype. Let's have a look. Nice correction. Okay, I don't have a dinosaur here. Can I have a little dinosaur, please? Bybit. Who's got Hype with a let's have a look at Bybit. I don't have a dinosaur. Let's see. No, neither. Who's got the dinosaur? Bitgate? I don't think so. No. Gate? I still don't have the dinosaur. Alright, okay. Never mind. I mean, who's got the biggest volume? I mean, let's go the other way. Let's bring Gonkako and ask who's got the biggest volume going on in Coin. Jesus. Coin right. What's going on today? Right, okay. Hype. So here's Hype. And go to markets and then see who has the biggest volume. Okay, the biggest volume is KuCoin. Alright, let's have a look on KuCoin. Where's KuCoin? KuCoin. If you don't find KuCoin, just go type on the front KuCoin. Right. There it is. Boom. Found it. Okay, still I don't have the dinosaur. The dinosaur means that you have the price from the beginning of time of its existence, right? Hello everyone. That easier to understand. That is excellent, easy to understand. Great, good stuff. Okay, so this is the daily. Let's go to the weekly. Let's have a look. Do I get an impulse? I have an impulse all the way up with a big correction. So let me break down my levels. Okay, so I take the very bottom to the very top, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend. This is what I do all day long, right? And you see how easy it is and how quick it is. Bam, go down to 12 hours, and here you have it. You have your levels. Okay, 50%. The red lines. When you see red lines on my chart, it's very significant levels. You need to be careful with these. Okay, pay attention. Very hard to pass. Not impossible, but they're going to be like strong supports and then become resistance and flipped it, all right? So this is where you are now. You have this low, high, low, and this is a question now. Is it a second high, low? The second high, low is always a good time for you to get in, okay? A little trick here. This is what we do in the web room. You're more than welcome to join us, okay? Go down to the video description. You're going to see a link, my official links, and if you open the official links, the first one you're going to see is the web room. But it has a subscription. You have to pay for it, okay? The second one is going to be the crypto school. If you want to learn free, we've got 4 courses over there. You're more than welcome and join. You only have to deposit $100 to the exchange, and then that money is yours for you to trade, okay? But you get your lessons for free. And then the third Discord over there is my Discord. For the time being, it's free, no subscription. You're more than welcome to come and join us and have a look. And inside the Discord, we're gonna do some live trading as well, not to broadcast it on YouTube. Also keep in mind that lately that Discord, my own Discord, will become subscription based, but whoever gets in, he gets it for free for life. Okay, so rush, try to get it in. Okay. So, Hype, as long as it's holding above this line, which is 22, okay, you're going to ask yourself, is this going to be my new support, right? This is a 90-minute now. what do you have? Okay, you have all these strong equal lows, okay, which is roughly, as far as I can see, is roughly the 50%. Okay, let me have a look. Is that 50%? Let's put that to the test. There we are. From here to there, you see, 50%. So that 50% you hold it very strong and stay above. Okay, some deviation here, that's nothing to worry about. Okay, all you have to see, right, all you have to see is you see that you have an uptrend. Okay, even that way. I mean, if a trend line helps you, use it. Use all the tools available for you. Okay, and this is by average. It's holding. Okay, what else do you see? Obviously, that big trend line is being cut off. Here it is. And the good sign is that, the price action flipped the trend line. All right, the price action was below the trend line. Now is above the trend line. And every time that price action is hitting that trend line, you're going to act it as a support. This is another trick that I teach. Okay, here's a trend line. When the price action is above the trend line, treat that trend line as resistance. Okay, in some point it may break. Okay, maybe on the third touch or maybe on the fourth touch. Okay, fifth touch. Usually second and third is safe for you to act as resistance for you to go short. But on the fourth one onwards, this is a bit tricky. You have to be careful, right? Because there are sometimes on the fourth time it's going to go through. So when the price action is below the trend line, act it as a resistance. When the price action is above, right, it comes down, treat it as what? Support. Okay, until 3-4 times, and then may break it later, and you're going to be paying attention to that. Okay, so here's your trend line. Okay, here it is. All this time this trend line was resistance, and then finally it breaks it and comes down and retest it. As long as it stays above that trend line, it's going to be your support. Okay, and now you have another confluence that you have another trend line that you act as support, so you have two supports. Okay, so that is, as long as it stays above 22, I think you're going to be safe. All right, take into consideration this is like equal lows. All right, it's going to be the first high low, and then maybe you get a second high low. We're going to see. Okay, have another trend line. If you love trend lines, be my guest. No, that's not a trend line, that was a dot. So here's a trend line. Okay, go to smaller time frame, make it nice and clean. Here's your trend line and say, hey, I'm watching you, I know that we're bullish on you. Okay, here's a trend line. Okay, a small deviation here, small fake out, it's fine. Use the averages and say, okay, flip that, and I'm gonna feel better. Okay, so we know that we need to hold 22. Okay, this is what you need to hold, 22. Make sure it comes up, comes down, right, and then goes up. Does that make sense? I hope it does make sense. So 22, as long as it stays above 22, you can have a small entry here, right? See what's going to happen with that 50% of that zone. See if it's going to claim that 50%. That's good news. You're going to find some resistance, right? Liquidity. There's a lot of liquidity here. That liquidity is going to influence the price to come down. If it's going to lose the red line, then close the trade. Okay, take the profits and close the trade. Otherwise, if that buyers, the bulls below on the 50% are strong enough, okay, then there is a possibility that it's going to grab this liquidity and then come down and stay above the red line. Some deviation, that's fine, a small deviation, but stays above the red line. And when you get accumulation, then you can add to your trade, increase your leverage and stuff like that. Okay, this is how easy you do. I mean, look at that. I mean, easy, quickly. You don't need to spend hours. What's the next one? You said Zeus. Let's find Zeus. Zeus. Where is Zeus? Kraken? Is that? Interesting. Let me have it. Kraken. Okay, why not? Let's have a look. Do I get the dinosaur here? Yeah, I got the little dinosaur down here. Okay, this is the full price from the beginning of its time. Not bad. Okay, Higher time frame, kind of fine, like an impulse, one big push to the up, and then we treat this as a correction. 1, 2, 3 candles, 45 days correction. I think it's quite decent correction. So, okay, I feel okay. Trying to see the lowest. This is 13 cents. This is 7774. So the 74 is the lowest. This is the highest. So I'm going to expand that to the left and right. Left, right. Just a little bit. Whereabouts? One more. There we are. Okay. I'm happy with that. Lock it. Go down to a smaller time frame. Here we are. You see the levels. I say, okay, I see you. I understand you. We just lost a 50%. No good. No good. Why did you lose that 50%? Why are you not strong? But anyway. You're not getting upset for anything, right? I always make that question every morning. How do you guys feel? You should feel always great. Why? Because you woke up and you saw the light of the sun, all right? So because of that, you're going to be happy. You don't care about the markets. You don't let the markets to detect your feelings. No. You need to master this. Please listen to me. You need to master this. You do not let the markets to affect your feelings, your emotions. Okay. So we are in a downtrend on Zeus. Zeus lost the 0.67. We can see that it's a significant. It was trying to battle here once, twice, and then boop, resistance. Okay. But good news in the horizon, we found the support. Okay. And now it's pushing higher than support. Okay. Good. Are we gonna, be bullish? Well, for me to be bullish, I need to see claiming the red line. I want to see stay above. And if I see accumulation and then breaking up, then I know I have liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity here. So that's my TP. It's all marked out for you. All you need to know now is the right timing for you to get in. Once you get in here, above here, and start moving above, your stop loss is going to be right under that red line. If ever the price is going to break that red line, kiss it goodnight. You don't need to lose a ton of money until you understand that you lost a level. You lost that red line, bye-bye. I'll see you later at the bottom. You get and find me and support somewhere. It's going to be the 0.54, it's going to be the 0.40. It doesn't matter, I don't care. Find the support, and when you prove to me that you find the support, then I'm going to reinvest. So far, still in a downtrend, but if you zoom out a little bit, it's in an uptrend. Okay, Zeus in an uptrend. Okay, let's have a look at that. It's an uptrend. Is it breaking the uptrend? Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna see. It may get quickly enough to claim the 0.67, the 50%, and then get up. Okay, so do not rush. Wait for confirmations. I prefer to get in above the 50% because the 50% is a significant level. Rejection point. It got above the flip, support with some deviation. Why? Imbalance. No strange here, not surprise. Support, and here was the moment. We lost the whole thing, and then boom, comes down, resistance. So now you're not feeling very optimistic about Zeus. You don't lose faith because it's still in an uptrend, but I need to see some solid grounds for me to say that we are shifting from this correction to the next uptrend. Do not try to guess where is going to be the reversal. Don't do that. Where's my funny voice? I need my funny voice.
Don't do that.
Right, okay. So do not try to guess where the reversal is going to happen. Always, find significant levels. Red lines are significant levels. That's why I mark them. 50%. Stay above the 50%, and then this is going to be more better for you. Okay, that is going to be a little bit cheeky. It'll be, maybe yes, maybe no. Right. That's why you can have if you want to grab the price as 63 cents instead of 67 cents, if that makes a lot of sense to you, that 63 is better than 67, fine, but go on 1x. Okay, start with 1x with futures, with leverage, but 1x, let it come back, stay above 67, and then add more and change the leverage to 2. Right, and the further it goes away from your entry, change the leverage to 3. Don't jump from 1 to 5 and then from 5 to 10. You're going to get wrecked, okay? Ease in. What it matters is the position, not the leverage. Make sure you put decent amount of money for you to get returns, okay? If you put $1,000, I'm just using a generic number here. If you put down $1,000, okay, do not expect to make $10,000. But these $1,000 will make you easily another $250, which is 25%, which is a big percentage number for you to target. 25% per day or per trade. Forget about the per day. 25%, you know what that is? A lot of people are underestimating the power of it. They want to see 100%, 200%, 300%, 600%, 1,573% profits. No, that is a big BS, right? You know what they do? They put $50 and then they increase the leverage and they decrease the position size. Remember, you enter with, the exchange. When you increase the leverage, they take down your margin. So they put $50, they go in, it goes well, it goes like up 20% and say, what if I can do 50x? Boom! They move the slide to 50x, then automatically the tile from 20% it will go to 1,000%, and then they kind of post on the Discord, hey, look at me, I'm a great trader. I just had 1,573% profit. You are newbies. No. Don't believe that, okay? We know the trick what they're doing. So no. Okay? Have a daily target. Come to Discord and I'll teach you how to find your daily target. Okay? Every person has a different daily target. We are here to make sure that you're gonna survive all kind of markets. Bull markets, bear markets, crashes, you name it. You're gonna be here the day after, you're gonna be here the year after. Okay? So we're here to build a good community of people that they have solid grounds, right? Solid grounds. You need to be down to earth. Have small targets, okay? Big dreams, small targets. Each target will make you go closer to your dreams. Okay, 23 minutes past the hour. I'm supposed to stay here only for 1 hour, and I'm already an hour and a half. So we've seen hype. We've seen Zeus. We've seen ADA. We've seen Bitcoin. We've seen a little bit of virtual. Okay, we spoke about virtual. Trump. Watch out for the Trump. Here's my chart for the Trump. You see, I've got my lines. The trend line. He broke the trend line as a resistance. It went above. Now acting support, and maybe this is the point that it wants to turn around. 32, maybe. I mean, this president. I mean, you see this clip here on Twitter. He's crypto friendly. He's going to go full in. He's going to create a team that is going to operate within the crypto space to make money for the government. I mean, how cool that is. Okay. Right. Good days. Happy days. It's Friday today. Be careful. You know what's happening on the weekends. They usually pump and then they dump on Sunday. So be careful on Sunday how Asia Open is going to open up. Be careful. Don't go, reckless. Please be careful. Treat with respect your money. Make them, put your money to work. No, don't throw the money left, right, center. If you're gonna throw the money in the market, you're gonna lose it. I advise you not to do so. Okay, don't play with the markets. Go outside and have fun with your friends. Have beers, have drinks. Have food. Go spend it otherwise. Something that is gonna give you some, a positive thing. Have a good time, memories. Don't throw money in the markets. Markets are designed to take money away from you. You need to make sure that you have a system, a strategy, a routine that you can, you can take some money off the table from the markets. So let me see how many greens and how many trading mantra. I spoke about the mantra. We spoke about the mantra. Okay. Bitcoin is green, Ethereum is green, XRP a little bit reddish, but stay safe with XRP. Don't be very, very bullish. Don't be very, very bearish. Try to have your emotions controlled and trade wisely. Solana is green. Doge a little bit to the red, but it's going to go to the moon. That's what Elon said. He's going to send Doge to the moon. LDO, Tron, Link is good. AVAX maybe it's going to move. Right, all of these use the top 100 for you to trade safely. Come to GoingKeiko and say, hey, I want to see the cryptocurrencies by market cap and take the top 100. Go all the way down if you want to see, decent market caps and say, can I trade Flocky, Sand? Here it is, Filecoin, number 95. Who knew? WIF. We all know WIF, right? They go in terms. Meme coins we used to be inside the animal kingdom. We had cats, we had dogs, we got penguins, ducks, chickens, you name it. Now it's celebrity memes. We got Trump, Melania, Baron. You got it, right? AI. Keep your eyes on the AI agents. Some of the memes, be careful and go some to the big tokens here. Take the top 100s and you're gonna be safe. Good to go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it from me. I hope you have a very good weekend. Have a great time. I hope you all the best. Be careful, right? Trade safe, and I shall see you very soon. I promise you, I'll see you back on Monday. Okay? See you back on Monday. Bye bye.